As you well know, this is the front of the train. It has a letter F in it. That F means the front. You get on the steps, you have the rails, you walk to that side, and here where the engineers sits. This is the engineer's room that say 1414. What is behind the engineer is going to be the diesel engine that is going to run the motor, the power generator. You have to have a diesel engine. Behind it you have a dynamo or electric generator that is operated by the diesel engine. If you look at this side, that side of the train, that will be the electric power generator. In the front, behind the engineer, will be the diesel engine. So this is simply, the train is simply a power plant. Power generating, you supply the diesel in the bottom, you see the tank in the bottom that has the red caps on it. It has red caps. The long red part, that is the meter. When you put the diesel in it, you can measure how high the diesel is. You really don't count, depend on electronics here. You have to put a stick in the tank to see how much fuel you got. And then the diesel is taken at the top to the diesel engine, and the diesel engine runs the power electric generator, like the one you have in an automobile or the one that you buy at home. And the electric generator, if you look carefully at the wheels, each one of these three axles, it has a traction motor in the middle of the axle. If you look carefully, if I magnify it, you are going to see huge copper cables coming from the top to the bottom to the traction electric motors that spins the wheels. So here you have a hybrid, kind of a hybrid. You have a fossil fuel that is running internal combustion engine. The internal combustion engine is running a motor, a generator that has enormous magnets in it. So it is an electromagnetic. You spin it, you supply motion to it, or torque, converts the torque into electromagnetic force. The electromagnetic force generates current, electric current. Where does the current go? Do you store it in batteries? No. The batteries here are only for a spark, for lightning. You don't store the generated electric energy in batteries, because how many batteries? You need very special batteries. You supply them immediately to the motors. Why do you do that? Because that way you don't have to have transmission. All these trucks have to have transmission. Transmission is an enormous mechanical unit behind the engine that converts the torque of the engine into the axles of the wheels to drive the truck. Between the transmission and the engine, you have to have a clutch. In an automatic transmission, you have to have the turbo to regulate the transmission of torque from the engine to the transmission. In the case of a train, you don't have transmission. You have what you call it, a resistor, or a variable variac. A variable resistor, you can adjust how much ampere or current you deliver to the motor to spin them. So you control the speed and the torque of the train by controlling the amount of ampere or the amperage that is going through the traction motor. The more ampere or the more current, the more torque you get from it. And the simple equation is that you multiply the ampere or the current by the volt, it will give you the power, electric power. You will have a lot of losses here. Don't think it will be more than 30% efficiency from electric power to mechanical power. still have another loss. When you convert diesel to mechanical power, you have enormous loss. So the train is the most inefficient machine because you waste a lot of energy in the heat. The best way to solve the problem of the train that will happen most probably in our generation is you have to replace the engine, the diesel engine, with a nuclear power station, like a submarine. We call it a mini reactor, a mini nuclear reactor that use uranium, and you cool it by water. We call it heavy water pressurized nuclear reactor. They do that in the submarines. In the submarines, you have the power generator is nuclear. You can stay underwater 3-4 years if you have food, but they come out every 6 months to get food and to get people medical treatment, and you go home. But the way you run a train using diesel, converting the diesel to the internal combustion engine into explosions that spins the drive shaft of the diesel engine, that spins the axle or the drive shaft of the electric generator, that generates electricity to spin the wheels of the truck. That is the most inefficient machine you ever have. Look at here, you have a light on it. Somebody forgot that light on under the steps. So when you come at night, you can see where your feet are.